Now, I'm not the biggest sugar cookie fan, but my recent recipe experiments have shown that brown butter does tend to make things better. So today, we're making some brown butter sugar cookies. Let's get into it.
Now, as the name of this recipe states, we need to start off by browning some butter. To do this, we'll place a cup of unsalted butter in a large saucepan to melt over medium heat. Stir the butter often with a rubber spatula to prevent the milk solids from sticking and burning on the bottom of the pan, and cook for about 5 minutes. The butter should become very bubbly as the water starts to cook off, and eventually a layer of thick bubbles will form on top. This is a sign that the milk solids have started to cook, and is honestly pretty annoying because it's hard to see the color of the butter underneath and therefore can easily burn. When you see that the butter has turned amber in color, remove from the heat and transfer to a small bowl. Cover and place in the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes or until the butter has set up. Now to make the cookie dough, we'll start off by whisking together 2½ cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. Make sure that's well combined and then set aside. Next, add the cup of brown butter to the bowl of a stand mixer and mix on medium for a few minutes until it's slightly whipped. Then add 1 3/4 cups of sugar and beat until light and fluffy. Next, add 2 room temperature eggs and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Beat until the mixture resembles cake batter and then add in the dry ingredients, mixing until just combined. Make sure to not overmix here so that you don't end up with tough cookies. And just like that, we have our cookie dough. Using a cookie scoop if you have one, or just a spoon if you don't, form the dough into balls about a tablespoon per cookie. Then roll each dough ball in a bowl of sugar, about 1/4 cup, until well coated. Place on a lined baking sheet and bake at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. The cookies are done when the bottoms are golden brown and cracks start to form. Let them cool on the baking sheet for a few minutes before transferring them to a wire rack to cool completely. And there we have it, delicious brown butter sugar cookies. From browning the butter to actually baking the cookies, the smells that were coming out of my kitchen for this bake were incredible. The texture was nice and chewy, and while the brown butter wasn't super prominent flavor-wise, I do think it helped to balance out the sweetness of the cookie at least a little bit. Overall, I'd say this was a solid recipe upgrade for one of your more classic cookies.
I still don't think I'm the biggest sugar cookie fan, but would I make these again for someone who was? Absolutely. Let me know if you make these.